What if nothing in this world could shake you anymore? What if every storm, insult, and failure slid off you like rain off stone? Most of your battles have been with small things, words, doubts, and fears, but what if you chose today to live untouchable? Strength is not loud. It is calm, unshaken, and unbreakable, and it is already within you, waiting to rise. What if nothing could shake you? What if every storm, every insult, every failure rolled off you as if it never touched your skin? Think about it. How much of your life has been wasted worrying about what someone said, what someone did, or what someone thought of you? How many nights have you laid awake replaying moments that tore at your peace? And what if all of that could no longer touch you? Most people are at war with the smallest things. A careless word ruins their day. A missed opportunity makes them spiral into doubt. A single failure convinces them they are not enough. They walk through life like glass, fragile, breakable, hoping no one notices the cracks. But deep inside, there's a voice whispering that it doesn't have to be this way. That maybe, just maybe, they could live untouchable. That they could learn to move through fire without being burned. The truth is, life is not kind to the fragile. The world does not stop spinning because you're hurt, and it does not slow down because you're tired. The world will keep testing you over and over until you decide to stop reacting, until you decide to stop giving it your power. Because here's the truth. No one tells you. Every time you react, you hand over your control. Every time you let anger, fear, or doubt take the wheel, you lose a piece of yourself. And that's why you feel empty. That's why you feel powerless. But imagine for a moment if nothing could bother you. Not because you don't care, but because you refuse to give anything that power over you. Imagine standing in a storm and smiling because you know the storm cannot last. Imagine facing rejection and walking taller because you know rejection is only a test, not a verdict. Imagine people trying to pull you down and you rising higher, not because they stopped, but because you no longer bend. Strength is not loud. It does not shout. Like a mountain unmoved by storms, true strength stands tall in silence while chaos rages around it. It does not need to prove itself. True strength is calm. It is the man or woman who sits in silence while the world around them screams. It is the one who holds their ground while everyone else runs. It is the soul that refuses to break when everything tries to shatter it, and when you carry that strength, people notice, opportunities notice. Life itself begins to bend toward you. People respect the one who cannot be rattled. They follow the one who does not flinch. They are drawn to the one who does not react like everyone else. Calmness becomes your armor. It shields you like iron that cannot be pierced. Silence becomes your weapon, sharper than any sword, cutting through provocation with steady control. And patience becomes the key that unlocks doors panic could never open. This is not pretending. This is mastery. Just as a skilled sailor learns to guide the ship through violent seas without panic, so too can you navigate life's storms with unwavering calm. This is you reclaiming what has always been yours. The ability to decide who you are, no matter what happens around you. And here's the most powerful truth. When you act as if nothing bothers you, you are not ignoring reality. You are reshaping it. You are teaching your mind that nothing outside has the right to control what's inside. You are rewriting the story you've been telling yourself. That you are fragile, that you are weak, that you are at the mercy of circumstances. That story ends the moment you decide it ends. You have carried the weight of every insult, every doubt, every failure long enough. They don't belong to you anymore. You are not defined by the noise of the world. You are defined by the strength you choose to stand in. And when you choose to act unbothered, untouched, untouchable, something inside you changes. A new version of you emerges, the version the world cannot intimidate, the version that walks through fire and comes out shining, the version that no longer bends for storms because storms are nothing compared to the calm inside. From this moment on, you are no longer glass, you are stone, you are iron, you are unbreakable. The world will test you, yes, but the world will never own you again. Not fear, not doubt, not chaos. They will come, but they will pass. And you will remain strong, calm, untouched, untouchable. Act as if nothing bothers you. Walk with that strength. Live with that power, because once you do, the world can no longer take from you what it never gave you in the first place, your peace. Strength is not something you wait to feel. It is something you decide to live. Every moment you hesitate, every second you let fear decide for you, you are giving away pieces of your life you will never get back. That is why urgency matters. That is why you cannot afford to wait for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. There is only now, and now is demanding you rise. Think of the days you wasted replaying conversations, defending yourself in your mind, proving yourself to people who will never understand. Think of the energy you gave away to doubts that only existed in your head. That time is gone forever. It cannot be reclaimed, but what can be reclaimed is your power in this moment. The choice to no longer bleed for things that were never worthy of your strength. The choice to live unshaken, unmoved, untouchable. Every great victory begins inside. Every great breakthrough starts with a choice to no longer tolerate what was breaking you. You don't rise by waiting, you rise by refusing. Refusing to break, refusing to bend, refusing to live as a victim of noise, refusing to let the chaos outside dictate the calm inside. That refusal is where power is born. That refusal is where your true life begins. Imagine how unstoppable you become when nothing rattles you. Imagine how powerful you feel when chaos rises and you remain steady. While others panic, you are calm. While others complain, you are silent. While others crumble, you are standing taller than ever. People will not understand it, but they will feel it. They will sense something different in you, something unexplainable, something magnetic. That is the power of being untouchable. And once you taste that power, there is no going back. You realize the things you once feared have no weight. You realize the opinions you once chased have no value. You realize the storms you once dreaded only made you stronger. You see life differently because you are no longer playing defense. You are no longer running. You are no longer hiding. You are standing, and nothing moves you. But this is not a gift that waits for you. It is a decision you make now, to rise above noise, to walk with calm, to live with strength, to no longer break where you once did. This is not about pretending you don't feel. It is about mastering what you feel so it never masters you again. It is about stepping into the fire without fear, because you know the fire cannot consume what was built to last. You are built to last. You are built to endure. You are built to overcome. And if you have forgotten that, this is your reminder. You are not here to bend for the world. You are here to show the world that nothing can bend. You decide today. Decide now. Carry yourself with the strength you were born for. Let nothing bother you. Let nothing own you. Live untouchable, unshaken, unbreakable. Every day you wait, the world tests you again. Every hesitation is another chance for weakness to creep in. The reason you feel stuck is not because life is against you. It's because you've been playing small, letting distractions and doubts write your story. But here's the truth. The moment you decide that nothing gets to you, the game changes. You stop being the hunted and you become the hunter. You stop surviving and you start leading. Think about it. The strongest people you admire are not the loudest. They are not the ones who explode with emotion. They are the ones who carry themselves with a calm you cannot shake. That calm is not natural. It is chosen. It is forged in silence and discipline, in moments when everything inside them wanted to break, but they refused. That same fire is inside you. You have felt it before. In moments where you stood tall against all odds, but you've buried it under layers of fear, of self-doubt, of endless excuses, it is time to uncover it again. The cost of ignoring this choice is higher than you realize. How many more years can you afford to lose to fear? How many more chances will you let pass because you couldn't control your emotions? How many times will you let other people's words chain you down? Every day you stay the same is another day stolen from the life you were meant to live. Time is not waiting for you. It never has. And if you keep waiting, life will not hand you peace. It will hand you regret. There is no power in reaction. There is no victory in being shaken by everything around you. Real victory is walking through chaos untouched. Real power is choosing silence when the world tries to provoke you. Real strength is standing tall when everything is built to break you down. That is the version of you the world has been waiting to see. The version that doesn't bow to pressure. The version that doesn't crumble under fire. The version that lives as proof that nothing can move a mind that has chosen to stand firm. You already know how it feels to live unsteady. You know the frustration of being controlled by emotion. The exhaustion of giving power to things that don't deserve it. That path only leads to more weakness, more anger, more pain, but there is another path. The path of control, the path of calm, the path of power. The moment you choose it, everything begins to shift. The weight you've carried starts to fall. The fear that once owned you loses its grip. And the strength you thought was lost becomes the core of who you are. Do not underestimate what this decision means. When you act unbothered, you don't just protect yourself. You attract everything you once thought was out of reach. Respect, opportunity, trust, influence. They flow toward the one who cannot be moved. People can sense when they are in the presence of someone who cannot be shaken. They lean in closer, they listen deeper, they want to follow because stability is rare and strength is magnetic. That can be you if you decide it now. Every second you live untouchable is another step into the life you deserve. The life where you are no longer controlled by storms, but command them. The life where your silence speaks louder than noise. The life where your calm becomes your crown. But none of this is possible if you keep waiting for courage to appear. Courage is not found. It is created in moments like this, moments where you decide that enough is enough. You are stronger than the chaos around you. You are greater than the storms that tried to break you. You are built for more than reacting, more than doubting, more than bending under pressure. This is the moment you reclaim it. This is the moment you rise. Decide now that nothing will bother you, nothing will own you, nothing will take from you again, because once you make that choice, your life will never look the same, and the world will have no choice but to bow to the power of your calm. The reason most people never rise is because they keep waiting for life to get easier. They wait for the storms to calm down, for people to change, for circumstances to fall perfectly into place. But life is not built to hand you comfort. Life is built to test you, and every time you react, every time you break, you prove to life that it still owns you. But when you stop breaking, when you stop handing over your peace, life has no choice but to bend in your favor. Think of the power you would carry if nothing could move you. Think of the focus you would have if no distraction could reach you. Think of the strength you would feel if no insult, no setback, no failure could touch your center. That version of you is not a fantasy. That version of you is waiting on the other side of one decision, to act as if nothing bothers you, to walk with calm when others run with panic, to stand when others fold, to rise when others collapse. The clock is ticking. Every second you delay is another second stolen by weakness. Every hesitation feeds the very fear you're trying to escape. Waiting has never saved anyone. Waiting has never built strength. Waiting only builds regret. You cannot afford to keep living as if you have forever, because you don't. You cannot afford to keep letting people control your emotions, because they will. You cannot afford to keep giving your energy away, because once it's gone forever. Do you realize how much of your life has already been wasted reacting? Do you realize how many dreams have died inside you because you cared too much about what others thought? Do you realize how many chances slipped by because you let fear dictate your steps? That ends now. You are not here to bow to weakness. You are here to rise above it. You are here to prove to yourself and to the world that nothing owns you anymore. The stakes are higher than you think. This isn't about staying calm in traffic. This isn't about ignoring an insult. This is about reclaiming your life. This is about refusing to live one more day as a prisoner of noise, chaos, and fear. Because if you don't take control now, life will keep taking from you. It will keep testing you until you are broken beyond repair. And if you let it, you will spend your last days wondering why you never became who you were meant to be. But if you choose strength now, everything changes. The storms will still come, but they will not move you. The failures will still arrive, but they will not define you. The people will still talk, but their words will no longer own you. You will carry yourself with a calm that commands respect, a silence that carries authority, a patience that creates power. You will become the one people look to when chaos rises, because you are the one who doesn't bend. And when you live this way, opportunities flow toward you, relationships shift, doors open, the world cannot resist someone who cannot be shaken. The unbothered mind is magnetic, the untouchable spirit is unstoppable. That is what you were born to embody. But it requires a decision that most people are too afraid to make. It requires you to rise when every part of you wants to stay on the ground. It requires you to claim a strength that feels unnatural at first, but becomes second nature once you step into it. So make the choice. Not tomorrow, not later. Now decide that from this moment forward, nothing will control your peace. Decide that from this moment forward, nothing will own your mind. Decide that from this moment forward, you are untouchable, because the truth is you were never fragile. You only believed you were. And the moment you stop believing the lies of weakness is the moment you start living the truth of your power. This is the call you cannot ignore. This is the moment your life shifts. The world is waiting to see what you will do. Do not wait. Do not hesitate. Stand in your power. Act as if nothing bothers you. Walk unshaken. Live unbreakable. Because once you choose this path, there is no limit to who you can become. There comes a point when you can no longer live as a shadow of yourself. A point where you realize that the things you thought were breaking you were never stronger than you. They only felt that way because you gave them power. Every problem, every insult, every storm only had control because you handed over the keys. The truth is simple but hard to face. You have been your own jailer. You locked yourself in a prison of fear, of doubt, of reaction. But the door was never locked. It was always open. And today is the day you walk out. Do not mistake calm for weakness. Calm is forged in fire, born in discipline, and chosen in the moments when everything inside you wants to break, but you refuse. Do not mistake silence for surrender. The calm you carry is the sharpest blade you will ever wield. The silence you hold is the loudest statement you will ever make. The patience you choose is the most dangerous weapon you can master, because when nothing can move you, nothing can stop you. That is the level of power you must rise to, the level of strength that separates the ones who endure from the ones who collapse. Look around you. Most people are collapsing. They are breaking under the weight of opinions, drowning in comparisons, consumed by noise. They wake up every day reacting instead of creating, surviving instead of living. That is not who you are meant to be. You are not meant to drown in the same ocean that others sink in. You are meant to walk on it. You are meant to move through the storm like it was built for you. But that will only happen if you make the decision now, while your heart is still pounding, while your mind is still awake, while your spirit still remembers it was built to conquer. There is no room left for hesitation. Hesitation is what killed your dreams before. Hesitation is why you missed your chance. Hesitation is why you kept shrinking back when life demanded you rise. That version of you dies here right now, because if you don't bury it, it will bury you. If you don't kill the weakness will kill the life you were born to live. You have to decide what matters more, your excuses or your future. You cannot serve both. You cannot cling to fear and still expect to rise into strength. You cannot hold on to doubt and still expect to walk into greatness. One of them has to go. And if you are truly honest with yourself, you know which one. You are tired of being fragile. You are tired of breaking. You are tired of carrying pain that was never yours to hold. This is the moment you put it down. This is the moment you stop being owned by your emotions and start owning them. When you live unshaken, the world changes its response to you. The things that once intimidated you now respect you. The people who once doubted you now follow you. The storms that once broke you now sharpen you. And the life that once felt impossible begins to feel inevitable. This is the transformation waiting for you. But it does not come by chance. It comes by choice. And that choice is right in front of you. The urgency is real. You do not have unlimited time. You do not have endless chances. You do not have tomorrow guaranteed. The only moment you can control is this one. If you walk away unchanged, you walk back into chains. But if you decide right now with everything inside you that nothing will bother you again, you walk into freedom. You walk into power. You walk into the life that was always meant for you. This is the moment you stop living like glass and start living like stone. This is the moment you stop waiting for strength and start acting from it. This is the moment you choose unshakable calm, unstoppable power, undeniable greatness. No one can give it to you. No one can force it on you. It has to come from you. And once you choose it, nothing, not fear, not failure, not chaos, will ever own you again. Decide now. Live unbothered, live untouchable, live unbreakable. Every time you give in to fear, you shrink. Every time you let anger dictate your choices, you hand over your power. Every time you let doubt stop you, you bury another piece of who you could have been. And deep down you know it. You feel it in the pit of your stomach. When you look back at the chances you didn't take, the words you didn't say, the moves you didn't make, that pain is not there to haunt you. It is there to wake you, to remind you that you are capable of more, and that the life you want is waiting for you to finally stop hesitating. The strength you are searching for is not somewhere out there. It is not hidden in another person's approval. It is not buried in luck or chance or timing. It is inside you. It always has been. You just never trusted it long enough to let it grow. You kept silencing it with fear. You kept doubting it with excuses. You kept smothering it with the noise of the world. But that voice inside you, the one that refuses to break, that voice has been waiting for this moment. The moment you finally decide to listen to it, to believe in it, to let it guide you into the life you were born to live. You have to see the truth clearly. Life will not hand you peace. Life will not gift you strength. Life will not give you a crown just because you want one. You have to earn it. You have to bleed for it. You have to decide that no matter how hard it gets, you will not bend. You will not fold. You will not give up. Because once you stop bending, once you stop breaking, life bends for you. And that is the shift that changes everything. Think about the person you want to become. Strong, focused, untouchable. What do you think it will take to get there? It will take sacrifice. It will take discipline. It will take walking away from weakness every single time it calls your name. And it will take standing tall in moments where you once would have crumbled. But here's the reward. When you live that way, nothing can stop you. Fear loses its grip. Doubt loses its voice. Chaos loses its power. You walk into rooms differently. You speak with weight. You carry yourself with a presence people cannot ignore. That is what happens when you choose calm over reaction, strength over weakness, discipline over impulse. This is not just about motivation. It is about survival. If you keep living the way you've been living, you will keep getting the same results. More stress, more regret, more wasted years. And the truth is, you don't have years to waste. You don't have the luxury of waiting for someday. Someday is the lie that steals your life. The only day that matters is today. The only moment that matters is this one. And if you let it slip, you will look back one day wishing you had chosen differently. The urgency is real. Your future depends on what you do now, not tomorrow, not next week, now. Will you keep allowing every storm to shake you? Or will you decide that from this moment forward, nothing owns you? Will you keep living like glass, fragile and breakable? Or will you finally live like stone, unmovable, unbreakable, unshaken? You already know the answer your soul is screaming for. It is begging you to rise. It is begging you to stop wasting yourself on fear and step into the power you were born with. It is begging you to claim the life that only belongs to the unbothered, the unstoppable, the unbreakable. And that choice is in your hands right now. Decide. Decide that nothing will shake you again. Decide that nothing will steal your peace. Decide that you are stronger than the noise, stronger than the storms, stronger than the fear. Because once you make that choice, your life shifts forever. And from that moment, you don't just survive, you dominate. You don't just endure, you conquer. You don't just exist. Friend, the truth is clear. You were never fragile, you only believed you were. Decide today that nothing will own you again. Not fear, not doubt, not the noise of the world. Stand tall, live calm, and walk unshaken. The life of peace and strength is waiting for you to claim it. Subscribe to the Chosen Motivation channel and rise daily into the unbreakable version of yourself.